Jay Crawford, Adam the Bull, Garrett Bush, Dustin Fox, Jason Lloyd, Tyvis Powell, plus, ba-da-da-da-da, you're loving him, Mikey McNuggets. And so many big names, it would take me hours to say all of their names. The ultimate Cleveland sports show starts now. Booyah!
Welcome, everybody, to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show on WKYC Channel 3. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Adam the Bull, and the Browns had a really nice draft. Maybe their best draft in a very long time. But was it the best in all of the NFL? We'll tell you what one outlet had to say about that. G.
I'm G. Bush, leader of the Kool-Aid Mafia. We will talk about the NFL playoffs, what is coming up, and who our picks are to move on to the Super Bowl. Jason.
NBA trade deadline 2 weeks away. Will the Cavs make a move? Are they buyers or are they sellers? We're going to talk about it. Mikey.
The Browns are still looking for a head coach. We're going to tell you when that search may come to an end and if on Monday we'll be talking about a potential hire or not. But, Bull, we start with the rookie rankings you alluded to. And ESPN put out their official rankings of the 2025 rookie class. And despite the Browns having a terrific group of rookies, they came in number 2 on this list behind the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah.
Their top 6, the Saints number 1, Browns 2, Giants 3, Patriots 4, Panthers 5, and Falcons 6. Do you agree with these rankings?
By the way, it was funny is 5 of the top 6 teams finished under 500 on that list. Do I agree with the rankings?
That.
I mean, this is a question in futility because how do you determine?
Yeah.
Ultimately, the Browns had a good draft, but they didn't solve any of their biggest needs. The Saints also had a really good draft. I don't know their rank and file players as well as I know the Browns, but I do know that at least they believe, and we'll see, it's probably too early to say, that they have solved their quarterback problem at Tyler Shuck, right?
Yep.
They have had a bad quarterback situation since Drew Brees retired, and Tyler Shuck had a really good year as a rookie. Whether for sure he's the answer,
He's the answer for right now.
for right now, they believe he's the answer. He is 100% their starting quarterback at the beginning of next year. So if you have 2 teams that drafted well and one got a quarterback that they're sure is their quarterback and the other team didn't, you got to give the edge to the Saints. So, yes.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. Going into the draft last year, you knew the Browns were thin on the offensive line. They needed a quarterback.
Yeah.
And they didn't have a ton of playmakers on the outside. Well, guess what? The Browns still are thin on the line.
Yeah.
Still need a quarterback. Still need playmakers, thin on playmakers on the outside.
Yeah.
So they didn't, while they had a good draft, and Carson Schwarzenegger was probably going to be Rookie of the Year on the defensive side of the ball, and Mason Graham had a fine rookie year.
Good player.
Yeah. They still are looking for answers at the most important positions. So it's sort of like it's the range. It's not the rank initially. Like, who cares if you're 1 or 2?
Yeah,
the Browns had a good draft.
Yeah, they did.
And that's what's important. That's what matters is they needed an infusion of good young talent, and they got that. But their biggest needs are still their biggest needs. So you could see why the Saints would leap them based primarily really just on Tyler Shuck, get him in the second round.
Yeah, I think this boils down to I really believe that when with ESPN the ranking came down to who do you think had a better rookie year, Tyler Shuck or Shedeur Sanders? And I think when you look at the way they ranked it in terms of it, they feel like the Saints are coming out telling them, hey, look, we like Tyler Shuck. We feel like we're not going in a different route. Now, despite what you may feel about Shedeur Sanders, it's about the level of improvement that you get from year 1 to year 2. And I think if you revisit it in a year or two, this list could be different. But I do think that Kelvin Banks was a major hit for them. You take a look at Tyler Shuck and what he was able to do. So those are 2 good hits. But if you talk about the Cleveland Browns, Carson Schwarzenegger, major hit. I thought Quinshon Judkins was a hit. I thought that Harold Fanning Jr. was a massive hit for him as well. But those are positions that are a little down the list in terms of quarterback. But I do think that if you take a look at this rookie class and Mason Graham takes a step up and you get an opportunity and Shedeur Sanders takes a step up and you say he solidifies himself as a quarterback in 2026, I think you can revisit it and say, oh, well, I think the Browns may have a better class. One or two.
It's irrelevant. If the Browns are on that top 6 list every year, that's good.
Yeah,
whether you're 1 or 2 or 4, even if they were 4, who cares? You want to be near the top.
And the draft grades right after the draft are the dumbest thing. It's the stupidest thing that we do.
Right.
A year out, I agree with you, G. A year out, you can start to get a look.
Yeah.
But really, it's
3
really
years.
3, 4, 5 years out is when you
we'll know, right. If Shedeur Sanders ends up being a starting quarterback and a good starting quarterback, then they would
jump
move
to 1.
Yeah.
ESPN in the write-up,
Yeah.
when they were ranking him, said you could have made a strong case for Cleveland at number 1, the Giants at 1, and they eventually went with the Saints at number 1.
Yeah.
It was those 3 in a tier of their own, and then they had the Patriots, Panthers, and Falcons in that next tier. Where
And it's just their opinion too. I mean, like,
Right.
it's hard to judge. Would you, is it the amount of good play? Like the Browns got 4, at minimum, got 4 quality starters from the draft. That's good.
That's very
Right.
good.
Very good.
And some of them are, might be stars. And even Mason Graham, who I was very hard on at times, like he played his best football at the end of the year. Again, you draft a guy that high, he better be a superstar, and he's obviously wasn't a superstar as a rookie, but he was good as a rookie.
Yeah.
He's certainly not a bust. So, the Browns did really well.
And you look at Jackson Dart. Listen, if Jackson Dart catapults himself to a superstar, you'll go back and look at this class and say the Giants had the best class.
100%.
That's what makes the Browns impressive to be in that top of that list, because they're basing that list on the Saints found their quarterback and the Giants found their quarterback.
Right, that's true.
Nobody's ready to say yet that the Browns found their quarterback,
That's right.
yet they still got the second best ranking on that.
Good point. What was that, Mike? You all
I would say
set?
we had a minute left for it to move on, but it's okay.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I shouldn't.
Now, I will say, in terms of, those, 2 of those 3 teams are changing. The Giants are changing coaches. The Browns are changing coaches.
Yeah.
So that has a little bit of a trajectory involved in how those guys are going to do.
Right.
You take a look at the Giants. Abdul Carter was their top pick. I mean, he wasn't overwhelming. Like
He played better at the end of the year.
Right. So
Dart, he's gonna be their quarterback. Scatterbo was playing great before he got hurt.
Yep.
I don't know about the rest of those guys. Darius Alexander, is he a good player or no?
He had an okay rookie season. Embo filled in at guard pretty well. They were happy with him. He might be a projected start next year. And Fedone and Corey Black just depth pieces.
Yeah.
All right. So
we'll see how it cooks out and works out too.
yeah, I mean the fact that the Browns are as high as you say. When they drafted, they wasted a pick on Dylan Gabriel in the 3rd round is pretty good. Go ahead, Mike.
Let's talk about the coaching search for the Cleveland Browns.
Yes.
They have Grant Udinsky in the building today. Nathan Shieldhouse, the past
Grant Udinsky.
Udinsky.
We're going to say it right because
Udinsky.
otherwise it's going to cause controversy. Grant Udinsky
is in the building today. Nate Shieldhouse is coming in on Monday. Then they'll figure out what to do if there's another mystery candidate or anything else in between then. But, guys, when do you think, and Jason, we'll start with you, when do you think we'll get a conclusion here to the Browns' search for a new head coach?
Well, in the open, you said, will we be talking about a new coach on Monday? No, I don't think we will be. Shieldhouse is in the building on Monday, and our show is 11 to 1. Probably not going to have an announcement on Monday. You're kind of at the mercy a little bit. I think part of the reason it's gone on as long as it has is because of the teams that they're on are still winning. The Rams are still winning. Mm-hmm. We've seen coaching searches dragged to February. Romeo Crennel wasn't named the Browns head coach. We're going back a while.
Yeah.
Crennel was named the head coach after the Super Bowl.
What about Chudzinski? I feel like that was a while too.
Middle, I think it was right around now.
Yeah.
It's starting to get a little bit late, but it's not.
But there's still, 5 teams that don't have a coach?
Right.
It's not like the Browns are alone here.
Right. I mean, Buffalo obviously just fired their head coach.
Yeah.
There are other teams that are still kind of going through the process too. A lot of the candidates that are being looked at, or Shieldhouse being one of them, are still playing.
Right.
So
if the
it
Rams
complicates the
win this
timing.
weekend, you got to wait 2 more weeks for Shieldhouse if you want him.
Yeah, but you'll know.
You'll know, but
The
you
announcement.
can't technically hire him until after the Super Bowl.
So we talked about it. I'd go back and watch the YouTube show. I don't know that we want to relitigate the whole thing in terms of where the Browns are at on the Rooney Rule. I don't like the way it's been portrayed that the Browns have botched this. I don't think that's the case at all. I think that they have followed the integrity of the rule, and I don't think that they want to bring in sham candidates just to check a box. I think that's insulting.
Yes.
And so I sort of applaud the way that the Browns have handled this and the way that they've gone about it. It's tough that Mike McDaniel rejected their in-person interview. I don't blame him for doing it. We talked about that on the YouTube show. I think he had the proper reasons for why he chose to do what he did. And if I'm the Browns and Nate Shieldhouse is my guy and that's who I want to hire, I would not fulfill the Rooney Rule. I would just write the check and pay the fine of it rather than it's sort of humiliating to bring somebody in just to check a box. I totally disagree with that. And I think that the Browns have been one of the more teams on the forefront in terms of diversity hires. And if you look at their history of leadership candidates and Andrew Berry and Ray Farmer and Sashi Brown and Hugh Jackson, the Browns are not a team that skirts the Rooney Rule. I think that they take it very seriously. And I sort of applaud the way it hasn't worked out exactly the way that they wanted, I'm sure. But I sort of applaud the way that they've gone about this.
There's plenty of legitimate things to rip the Browns.
Absolutely.
We don't have to come up with extra things to rip them.
Yeah, I mean, the coach search is, I'm a firm believer in just get it right. Go through the checks, balances, do your due diligence, get out there, talk to as many people as you can, and find the right candidate. If it takes 2 weeks from now, great. If it takes a little longer than everybody else, cool. Like, it's just the thing is getting the right person that has the best fit that you're comfortable with. If you come out of this thing and it don't end till after the Super Bowl or even in February or sometime, if you came away thinking, hey, we got Shieldhouse, or hey, we got Udinsky or Jim Schwartz, and we got one of the guys to be the coordinator, if you're comfortable with that, then it's job well done. You don't get extra credit points for hiring the wrong candidate early.
Yeah, and I understand the later you hire, the trickier it becomes in hiring assistant coaches.
Yeah.
But if Jim Schwartz is ultimately going to be their DC, and I don't know that, but if he is, well, he's already here, so you don't have to worry about hiring him. And if you're hiring an offensive coach, then the offensive coordinator may not be as important to hire because you're hiring an offensive coach. And ultimately, you don't want to rush into his decision. I wonder if owners and GMs start feeling the pressure, like we don't want to be the last one to hire a coach.
I don't think
I
so.
hope not, because you want to take your time. It's an important decision.
I think it's situation specific. Had the Rams been eliminated in the first round, this might be over.
It might be, but I don't think if the Rams lose this week, then I think if the Rams win this week, we might not see the Browns hire a coach till after the Super Bowl.
If it's Shieldhouse, if that's their choice. If it's Udinsky, it probably will get wrapped up next week.
Yeah.
What happens if Udinsky is announced somewhere else and it turns out that he's their secondary candidate? Like him and Shieldhouse are neck and neck.
Yeah. I mean, he's not interviewing with anybody else except for Buffalo, that we know of. So, and I'd be stunned if Buffalo hires him.
Yeah,
so I don't think that's unlikely, but anything's possible.
So, I think if you look at it, the Browns are in a decent position because nobody really is. Now, they could announce that they were going to bring Udinsky in, especially if it gets late and the Raiders and the Cardinals start looking around and be like, well, we don't have the guys we want. Maybe they bring them in for an interview, but we'll see how it works out. Like I've said, I don't have a big preference. I like all three of the names. The thing is, here in Cleveland, when you get a new coach, you're going to have to give them opportunity, no matter who it is, to come in and do their thing. Like, even if they have a bad year, like, I'm going to go on record and be like, listen, I can't talk about firing somebody in a whole year. Like, I just can't do that, bro. Like, that, no. Like we've done it with Udinsky. We've done it in some other places, but I just can't. If you want to change, you got to give somebody at least an opportunity to come in here and put some stuff together to get a look at them. And at least and I'll give this to the Haslam's. They at least gave Kevin Stefanski 6 years.
Yeah.
Right. That's almost a decade of being in a job trying to figure out if he's the right guy or not. I think they got to do a better job in giving this guy, whoever it is, a longer runway.
All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, though, we'll switch gears from the Browns to the Cavaliers. We are less than 2 weeks away from the trade deadline. The Cavs have had a mediocre start to the season. Will they make a trade at all? And will it be a big one if it does happen? We'll get to that next on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show on WKYC Channel 3. Welcome back to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show on WKYC Channel 3 and the WKYC Plus app. Guys, the trade deadline in the NBA is less than 2 weeks, February the 5th at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. That's when the trade deadline is. The Cavs, as we know, are in the second apron. I believe they're the only team in the second apron.
They are.
What that means, without getting too convoluted for the fans who don't understand, It just makes it much more complicated to make a trade, to keep it simple. It
means
will
not
they
happening.
be buyers or sellers, or will they stand pat, G. Bush?
Listen, I think I've always said, the Cavs they are who they were when they got here this season. When they got in that second apron, they made the move Jason talks about all the time. They went and got DeAndre Hunter. They're the most expensive team in the league. He's been talking about the aprons for a long time, and the Cavs are here. They may make a move to try to shed a little and get under the second apron. Lonzo Ball hasn't worked out too well. He can't shoot. I'm looking around at the rest of the roster. Dean Wade has been maybe moved. The Cavs are who they are. Like, they're gonna have to step up. They're gonna have to turn it on. They're gonna have to play more consistent basketball. Their defense in terms of stopping 3-pointers is tough. Now they're Jekyll and Hyde a little bit, because you watch this game. Believe it or not, the Hornets do a great job of knocking down threes, and they get open threes a lot offensively. And the Cavs did a really good job in the first half of stopping them and slowing those guys down. But they need to shoot the ball better. They need to stop the three better, more intensity, and more than anything, it's getting healthy in the second half. So with that long-winded answer, no, the Cavs aren't going to do anything because they can't. They got the squad that they got. Jason?
Buy, sell, stay the same.
Yeah, I think they stay the same. But I thought that in 2018, and Kobe tore apart half the roster on deadline day, and I didn't think that was possible. And they made some moves that I didn't see coming. So I got that in the back of my head when I say I think that they're going to stand pat again, because but the rules of the game are different now than they were back then. And
Yeah.
I think they are who they are. I think they're a good team when they're motivated and healthy. And I think that they just have to hope that comes together for them in April and May. And I know it sounds kind of foolish to say they got to get lucky, but I think they got to get lucky with some of this health stuff.
Obviously,
but there's no great move out there to make right now.
Yeah, it seems unlikely they're going to make a massive move, a significant game-changing move. But are they more likely, if, let's say they do something, is it more likely to be a move strictly to get under the second apron? Or is it likely a move not concerned about the second apron, just a potentially maybe a small move to get them a little better? I mean, if that's possible.
I don't think the move to get under the second apron then allows you to make other moves.
Okay.
So I don't know
can
that.
we see that?
Well, I don't think so. I mean, the timing on that is difficult, because they got to make a couple of moves. Just dumping Lonzo doesn't get them under the apron.
Right.
So you got to make a couple of moves to get under the apron, and now you can make the moves you want to make. You see what I'm saying?
That's a lot of moves to make in not a lot of time. Yeah.
That's why I think this summer you're going to see changes to this franchise.
Right.
If they don't get it done this year, then you can start having conversations about, okay, what do they have to do? What do they need to change? Who do they need to pull out? But right now, I just think you're in the middle of it, man. You are who you are at this point. You built this team to win. You got to see this out, and then assess what happens this year in the playoffs, and then this summer is when they would make changes.
If they were completely healthy, I would. You could see a way where you could just say play better, because they got Sam Merrill, Max Strus, DeAndre Hunter. If he plays a little more consistently, shoot the ball better.
Yeah.
Better health with Mobley and some of the other guys. Larry Nance Jr. hasn't played all that much this year. If you had all the pieces and parts together, you can see where they have an opportunity to be a team that's well-rounded. However,
Yeah, they're an injury-prone team. Go ahead, Mike. You got something for us on this?
Well, yeah, they're $22 million into the second apron.
Yeah.
So to get under the second apron, the only contract they can trade and get nothing back would be like a DeAndre Hunter or above. So one of the core four or DeAndre Hunter. Allen actually does not make enough money to qualify. So Hunter, Darius, Donovan.
Well, they could trade
Kevin.
2 players, couldn't they?
They can't aggregate to get out. It's a whole thing. So what I think is going to happen, I'm just going to give you my prediction, is they're going to chip off Lonzo Ball to somewhere like Utah that has cap space, take a second-round pick back, and even though it doesn't get them under the second apron, Lonzo makes $10 million in luxury tax savings by getting Lonzo off the books. It saves Dan Gilbert about $40 million, so it's about a $50 million move in terms of actual savings.
Yeah, well, none of us care about that. That's only helps him.
But we don't care about that. I'm just giving you what I think is going to happen because Dan Gilbert probably cares about $40 million.
The one thing, like, they have not been, remember they got out of the tax last year. The move to Hunter got them out of the tax. So they have not paid a tax since 2018. So if I hear Mike, and he's very well could be correct. If they think Lonzo can help them in the playoffs, Dan will pay the money to keep Lonzo for the playoff. Now you can have that argument of, is Lonzo really going to help them? He hasn't to this point.
Yeah.
But I just because they have not been a tax team for so long, they don't have to worry about repeat offender at this point and all that stuff. I don't know that getting out of the tax or reducing the tax bill. I don't know that that's the priority at this point. But any type of move that they make, I think, is a minor around the edges.
Poor Utah. Why is always any proposed trades to dump salary for minimalski picks is always Utah?
All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, the NFC and AFC championship games are this Sunday. Who's going to win it? We'll give you our predictions coming up next on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. All right, welcome back to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show here on WKYC Channel 3. Guys, the AFC and NFC championship games, something the Browns haven't seen in a long, long time.
1990.
It was 90.
I think it was 90.
Yeah, that's 35 years.
Season,
Yeah,
maybe.
89, yeah.
36 years, sorry. It's been a long time. Mike wasn't born. Anthony wasn't born. G. Bush, you were, what, 10?
Yeah, about 9.
Yeah, and Steve was, in his early 30s now.
Steve had a house. He had a whole life in front of him. Mortgage.
Yeah, exactly. But the games are going on this weekend. The AFC championship game feels like a disappointment. You got Jarrett Stidham, who hasn't played a game in 2 years.
What a story it would be if they won.
Oh,
that
my
game.
God. I mean, there would be the craziest story if they, but
It's
nobody,
one game.
You don't
They
want
can
them in
win
the
it.
Super Bowl. I know.
No.
I already think the AFC has very little chance, even with the Patriots. But I don't think the Broncos
I
have any
mean,
chance.
this is crazy. I don't remember a backup quarterback.
Hostetler.
Hostetler and Foles are the only ones that I know that got to a play.
Yeah.
And Hostetler is exponentially a better quarterback than Stidham is. Like, Hostetler played meaningful games.
Stidham has thrown, I believe, 100. He's been in the league like 7-8 years. He's thrown, I think, 150 regular season passes. He's barely played.
You talked about it. The Patriots have had a cakewalk, haven't they? This is the importance of getting a bye. This is the reason you want to bye in the playoffs. If you get a bye and you get a home game at home, you win that thing, then you go to the AFC Championship wherever you're at, and then who knows what's going to happen by then? You don't know who's going to be available.
I saw the look-ahead line.
Patriots didn't get a bye, though.
Yeah, that's right. Patriots. The Broncos got the bye.
Broncos got the bye. That's the reason you still want that bye.
But the Patriots played the Steelers, right? No, the Patriours played who they played?
Chargers.
The Chargers, right?
Then the Texans.
Anyway, I shouldn't diminish the Patriots. They've earned their way here, no doubt about it. But Drake May hasn't played great in the playoffs. But I don't see how the Broncos win this game, guys. Anybody picking the Broncos?
I would take the points. I don't like Mile High. And to me, I look around and it's tough. They're 5-point dogs, but I would take the points. I think the game is closer. I think their coach is going to come up with a game plan, and they got a really good defense. I think that the Broncos can keep this thing close. I wouldn't pick them to win outright, but I think they got a little something.
It's one game. Anything can happen in the NFL. Just when you think you got this league
you
figured
never
out,
know.
Something weird happens. I mean, if you tell me I got to bet the mortgage on one team, I'm going to bet the Patriots.
Right.
I don't think it's out of the question.
It's only, like I said, it's only a 5.5-point spread. They're at home.
Yeah.
And he's going to have to do something. You can't just be along for the ride as the quarterback.
Right.
But the Broncos defense, which didn't play great last week, overall, they were playing Buffalo. They weren't, So
turnovers are the great equalizer.
I'll give the Broncos a puncher's chance. I wouldn't be surprised if they cover the spread. I'd be surprised if they won, but not shocked. I mean, it's certainly not an impossibility. It's not like we've seen teams double-digit underdogs win in the playoffs at times.
Sure.
So it wouldn't be
Panthers
crazy.
were 10.5-point underdogs to the Rams in the first round and almost won that game.
All right, we don't have much time for the NFC Championship game, even though it's the better game. Who you
Rams. Give me the Rams.
Give me the Seahawks.
All right.
Whoa,
Go with
Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold, Super Bowl champion.
Can you imagine if we have a Sam Darnold, Jared Stidham Super Bowl? Nobody would have predicted that. Now nobody will ever want to draft a quarterback again. Well, just draft offensive linemen.
Sam Darnold's going to convince people Deshaun Watson's coming back.
Oh, boy.
Sam Darnold. I tell you what.
Seattle's tough at home, but the Rams are the best team with the best coach.
So you're
and the
picking
best
road
quarterback.
games in both?
Yes.
Wow, that's tough.
Yes.
That's tough.
Rams got the best coach and the best quarterback left in the
I agree with
postseason.
Bull.
I'm going to go with them. So who you got, Mike?
The Rams and the Patriots. I
Rams and
agree.
the Patriots.
Rematch.
Yeah,
Two
Both
road
of
dogs.
years.
All
There
right.
you go.
We'll see.
Oh, wow.
All right, folks, thanks for joining us. We'll be back on Monday on YouTube. Make sure you join us then. Thanks for watching the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show on WKYC Channel 3.
Peace.